Get your name up here, and I think we are ready to start it. So, welcome to the Spartans at the Spice here every Monday afternoon. That we have a chance to visit with one of the female players at USC Upstate, freshman Cassie Gallagher. Cassie, congratulations on a good season so far for you, and we appreciate you being with us today.
Thank you.
All right, let's talk a little bit. You're from Cooksville, Tennessee, and I'm going to date myself on this, that there was a famous football coach that probably your grandparents know that came from Cookeville, Tennessee, who was a legendary head coach at the University of South Carolina, Jim Carlin. And that's where I first learned about Cookeville, Tennessee, though. But just tell me a little bit about how a young lady basketball player from Cookeville, Tennessee ends up at USC Spartanburg, Upstate.
I mean, Coach Will recruited me from just high school, and he first recruited me at Belmont Abbey, and then whenever he moved here, he offered me a spot on the team, and so.
Okay. Now, this is your freshman year. You are a freshman. Let me pull my mic in a little more. You are a freshman. Talk a little bit about the transition going from high school basketball to playing college basketball.
Yeah. I'm actually a redshirt freshman, so, I got to watch a year, which was nice. But it's definitely a change of pace and change of speed and commitment.
Okay. So, having that year to watch being redshirting all your first year and all, what were some of the main things that you were able to learn? So now when you stepped in, like we said, you mentioned you were a redshirt freshman. You weren't totally thrown to the wolves out there. You had a kind of a year to get yourself underneath the ropes there.
Yeah, I think it was really helpful in, learning how we play basketball and learning, what Coach Williams wants from us on the court.
Okay. You have been a productive offensive player this year. What do you see and what do you feel like is your main role for this team this year?
I definitely think I bring a lot offensively, but I think as a shooter, that's one of my big roles on this team.
Okay. So I've noticed that before. I've got your stats right here. We'll look at those. I better put my glasses on. I'm getting old and I can't. Even though I had eye surgery twice, this past year, I can see things far away, but I have to put these on to read right here, though. All right, looking right now, you are the second leading scorer on the team, averaging 9.1 points a game. You've scored 136 points this year. You have got 8 block shots. That's kind of interesting right there. Tell me a little bit about that. You play guard, I believe,
yeah.
but you've got 8 block shots, which ranks as one of the leaders on the team.
Yeah, just being in front of your defender and having your hands up, get lucky sometimes.
Well, I was one time I was a guard who also, and I'm not the biggest either there, but I used to cheat. I used to play help side D, and I got most of my block shots where I came over and got them from behind where they didn't see me back there. So I kind of cheated on that one, though. You've got 14 assists this year, and rebounds you are averaging 3.1, though. So you're doing a little bit of everything, though. You feel like that you are one of the leaders of this year's team.
Yeah, in my own way.
Okay. All right, what do you feel like are your strong points? You mentioned three-point shooting. We talked a little bit about your statistics, but what do you feel like your strong points are?
Definitely scoring the ball offensively, in particular from the three-point line, but I think just making the right reads offensively.
Okay. All right. What do you feel like you've still got work to do? Things that you really know that maybe kind of stick out that you want to get better at?
I think offensively, driving the ball is something I will continue to work on, and then defensively, I still have some work to do.
Okay. All right. What do you think your biggest improvement during the season has been? In what areas do you feel like you've really improved?
I think so far just overall confidence,
Okay.
offensively.
Okay. My philosophy I was a shooter also when I played. And I told my teams this, that my philosophy is when in doubt, let it fly. And then the second part of that is when in doubt, shoot a brick. Though, but I usually let my players pretty much, unless it was one of my designated, you can't shoot anything outside the paint and anything from more than 2 feet away from the basket. Most of my players had a chance to put it up, though, and our offenses were filtered in that we ran kind of a 5-out set to where I taught my big men how to shoot the ball and dared them, made these other big men that are not comfortable away from the basket. If they didn't come out, my 5-man had the green light to shoot it anytime you wanted to. So that's kind of what we did right there, though. All right, outside of basketball takes up a lot of time, but what are your interests, your main interests outside of basketball?
I like doing anything like outdoors, like hiking, just going on walks outside.
Okay. What have you enjoyed most about Spartanburg being here, though? And this is one of the things I enjoy about Spartanburg is the sugar and spice, and hopefully we can get you hooked on coming here. They got great food here that if you love, like I said, roast beef sandwiches, you've got that, you've got Souvlaki. It's a Greek restaurant, so it's got a lot of different things. But what things do you enjoy most about Spartanburg?
Yeah, I think Spartanburg has a lot of like little nooks and crannies that are cool if you can find them. I do a lot of studying in like coffee shops. I enjoy like going and finding new ones.
What's your favorite one? Starbucks one, or what would be your favorite coffee shop?
I like Knowledge Perk.
Okay.
Over by Wofford.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. What do you feel like your leadership qualities are for the team? Are you more of a vocal leader? Are you more of a lead by example? Or what would you say would be your strong points in leadership?
I'm definitely a more lead by example. I'm not one of the most chatty people on the team.
Okay. All right. And let me see, I've got a couple of other questions I want to get down to you here before we get to the full court press. Fun questions for you to do. Let's see. What do you think makes a good player?
I think just your ability to read the game and taking what's given to you.
Okay. All right. Let's see what we've got here. What's your favorite sports event? Do you have one?
I don't think I have one.
Okay.
I like pretty much any sporting event.
Okay. Mine would be March Madness.
March Madness is fun.
That is fun. And I've had the opportunity to both be credentialed and go to the men's and women's national championship. I cover University of South Carolina women's basketball a lot. So I'm over for the SEC tournament in Greenville every year, and usually cover them throughout the NCAA tournament, though. So enjoy watching women play, and I've had have coached men's and women's basketball both, and I'll have to say I think the women play with more heart than the men do. Men may get mad at me for saying that. I know the women maybe are not as able to go out and dunk, although South Carolina had a player who's dunked 3 times. But I think that just it's a different mentality that I think I give the advantage to the women's game and to the women players right there. All right, what are you most proud of?
That's a hard question.
Anything that you have done, or anything in life, what would you be most proud of?
I think making it at the Division I level is something to be proud of. I think also I'm coming off of an ACL injury, and I think coming back from that and being as successful as I have been able to be is something that I'm proud of.
How hard was it coming off ACL surgery, and what was it like going through your rehab and everything?
It was tough. I think it's definitely more of a mental challenge than a physical challenge, especially in coming back. But I think I had a great group of people that helped me through it, and our athletic trainers are great at Upstate, and so.
What was it like the first time for you to that when you went back on the court and all? Was there that a little bit of hesitancy there, or what did it feel like when you got back on the court?
Yeah, there was definitely a little bit of hesitancy, and then it just felt weird, but it also felt just natural to be back out there again.
And again, probably had to build a little confidence up
Yes.
there. I had torn rotator cuff surgery, and I could not throw a ball for a year. And I remember the first time that I tried to throw a football, I couldn't throw it to your coach over here and all. It just really felt weird though.
Yeah.
But I pushed. It was supposed to have been a year, but I really pushed my rehab up and got back out there within about 10 months. But I lost 23% of motion in my shoulder that I could never get back, and didn't have that velocity anymore though. But I remember it being difficult, or kind of feeling kind of weird. You were scared to really cut it loose and go.
Yeah.
All right, what's your definition of success?
I think success can be measured in like different ways, but I think success is something that like that you and the people around you can like will remember for a while.
Okay. All right. Moving on right here. I've got you, and with NIL, I guess we can do this right now. I've got you the keys to a brand new car or vehicle of your choice. What would you get, and what color would you get?
Ooh. I'm not really a car person, so I don't really know my cars, but
Okay. It could be any vehicle. It could be a moped. It could be anything you got. Transportation, mode of transportation.
I might go with like a white Jeep.
Ooh, okay. I've been looking at some Jeeps, and that's about all I'm doing. When I saw what the prices were on them, that's about all I can do is look and wish on that, though. Okay. Do you have any phobias?
No, I don't.
Nothing you're afraid of?
Not really.
Okay. I'm not big on heights. I kind of freak out when it comes to heights there. That I've had some difficult experiences with heights before. All right, if you could trade places with anybody in the world for one day, who would you trade places with?
I don't know. I might go with like a basketball player and go like Caitlin Clark and play a game with her abilities.
Okay, all right. If you could, let's say too, if you could talk to anybody in the world, a little bit different here. If you could talk to anybody, past, present, future, whatever like that, if you could talk to anybody for 1 hour, who would you pick, and what would you talk about?
I might go with someone like Pat Summit and just talk basketball and like how like hear her stories about how she impacted the game of women's basketball.
She would be a good one. She would definitely be a good one there. All right, I got 2 tickets to any event. It can be sports event, it can be a concert, it can be anything. I got 2 free tickets for you right here for any event there. What would you go see, and who would you take with you?
I might go with the NCAA Women's National Championship basketball game, and then I might take my mom with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be fun. That
Yeah.
would be good. I tell you, it's different. Having been to, I got to go as a part of the Duke men's basketball media team throughout the NCAA tournament one year. So I got to go to Indianapolis with them, and I got to be with them on the floor when they cut the nets down. And that was a unique experience getting to do that, though. So let's see right here. Before we move on to the full court press questions right here, I've been asking all the questions here, though. Would you rather be asking questions or answering questions?
Probably answering.
Okay. All right. All right, let's move on here going to throw a few things out at you. First question is, would you rather be the mascot for a game or the manager for a game?
Maybe the manager.
Okay.
Get all the background, like you see everything.
That would be hard work, though. I would rather be. I'm an idiot anyway. I'm kind of people know not to dare me to do something because I'll do it and prove them wrong. But I'd love if I could put on one of those heads and could go out there and just act crazy and nobody know who I was. Hey, I'd do that in a heartbeat, though. So that would be what I would probably do. All right, these are a few things right here we're going to go to. Questions about you. Do you put ketchup on a hot dog?
Yes.
All right. What is your favorite soda drink?
I don't like soda.
Okay, you don't drink soda.
Mm-hmm.
What do you drink? Just water or
just water? Yeah.
water? Okay, that's good for you. That is. All right. Do you put salt on your watermelon?
No.
Okay. Can you swim?
Yes.
I think pretty. You'd be surprised how many people can't swim. All right. Hot dogs or hamburgers?
Hamburger.
All right. And the Sugar and Spice has got a great cheeseburger here too. Do you believe in ghosts?
No.
Okay. All right. What do you drink in the morning when you get up? Like coffee or water?
Water.
All right. Winter, spring, summer, or fall? Favorite month?
Oh, probably fall.
Okay. That's my favorite month too. All right. Can you do 100 push-ups?
At a time?
Yes.
No.
I used to, but that was many, many, many days ago. Okay, years ago, should I say. What's your favorite pet?
Probably a dog.
Do you have you
Yes.
have a dog, or do you have a
Yeah.
dog? I love
Yeah.
dogs. I love all animals though, but I've got a little grand dog, and that's my buddy that we go out and run together. Do you wear glasses?
No.
Okay. All right. We already asked you about phobias. Do you have any? Have your players on your team given you any nicknames?
I get called Cash.
Okay. All right. Because you're money.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. Let's see. Rain or snow?
Probably snow.
That massive blizzard that we had over the weekend there, I think you probably laughed being from Tennessee where you're probably used to snow, how, the whole world closes up down here. I mean, I couldn't believe that schools had a 2-hour delay today.
Yeah.
Now when I was teaching, I used to beg for every little delay and things you could get on that though, but that's kind of interesting that we still had delays today. All right, can you change a tire?
I probably could figure it out.
You figure
but
it out.
I've never done it.
Make sure first of all that you got a jack. That's where it's kind of bad if you go in there and go, where's the jack? I can't find the jack. All right, what is your favorite flower?
I like any flowers.
Okay.
I think I have a favorite. I like daisies.
Daisies. All right, those are pretty. Can you drive a stick shift?
No.
Okay. Have you ever gone skydiving?
No.
I would never do that. You'd have to hit me over the head, knock me out cold, and push me out of the plane. I ain't jumping there. So that goes back to my fear of heights. What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Okay. What's your favorite movie?
I don't know. I don't watch a whole lot of movies, but no. I like any inspirational movies.
Okay. My favorite movie, and I used to show this to my team when we'd be traveling on the chartered buses and all, was Hoosiers. I loved Hoosiers back there. And matter of fact, my players always asked me, said, Coach, why didn't you ever put the picket fence in? I said, you bring me Jimmy and we'll put it in. But that was a great movie that I loved, was Hoosiers there. Have you ever had any surgeries before? You said
Yes.
ACL with that, though. Would you rather take a nice hot soaking bath, or would you rather take a shower?
Shower.
Okay. What's your favorite song?
I don't think I have a favorite song either. I listen to a lot of Christian worship music though, so I'd say that's kind of my favorite genre.
Okay. Alrighty. Let's see. What is the worst pain you have ever been in that you ever had?
Probably after ACL surgery.
Okay. That was tough. I'd say the worst pain I have ever been in was having a kidney stone. And and I've had 9 of them.
Oh wow.
And I remember that first time I crawled in the floor of the hospital, and they had to come get a gurney, come get me and scoop me up. I couldn't go. But that is the absolute worst pain. second with that on, that was type 2 diabetic, and when they put me on insulin, it triggered something that gave me shingles, and that hurt. Oh God, I had it on my stomach, and that hurt too, and that went on for about 6 months, and that didn't feel good. You say you're an outdoors person, you like to go camping?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, pumpkin or pecan pie?
If it has ice cream, I'm gonna say pecan. But if it's no ice cream, then pumpkin.
Okay. And one of my last two questions is, one of my favorite things that I enjoyed about coaching was when I got our uniforms, I never ordered out of catalogs. I designed my own uniform. This was one of my favorite ones that I designed, the pinstripe jersey right here. If USC Upstate put you in charge of designing the uniforms, tell me what your uniform would look like.
Ooh. Oh no.
I like the uniforms y'all have.
Yeah, I do too. I'd say they'd probably be just like classic, similar to what we have. Not super creative.
Okay, so green, what, you'd have a green one, a black one, and a white one?
Yep.
All three, okay. That sounds good. And my last question for you, and one of my reasons for wanting to do this with y'all, and we wanted, last year we tried it out, and we did the men's team, but I was really persistent and pushing hard to make sure we got the women in there, because I wanted to get y'all the exposure that I think you deserve. But if there's somebody out here today that does not know Cassie Gallagher, what would be the most important thing you would want them to know about you? Is there anything about you as a person, your life, or anything you would want them to know?
I was homeschooled, so that's a cool fact about me.
Okay.
Grew up in a big family. I think that.
Okay. All righty. Well, we appreciate you coming and taking your time today and being with us. We got to get you something. If you don't want to eat it here, get you something to go to take back with you on there, though. But whatever you want to eat is on the Sugar and Spice that they will take care of. And they got some really good things on the menu, so you might want to get a doggy bag if you don't want to eat right there, though. But Cassie Gallagher has been our spotlight player on the Spartans at the Spice today. Appreciate you being here and wish you good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll be back in just a minute, and we have one of the assistant head coach from USC Upstate Women here in just a minute.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. That's what it sounds like. All right, let me see.
All right, let's see. Check 1, 2, 3, 4. Check 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to turn back these a little bit and see if that. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's see. I think I've turned the mic off altogether.
Yeah, you did turn it off. It got a little better for a second, but it came back.
Okay, let's see. Let's see. 3, 4. Check 1, 2, 3, 4.
Testing 1, 2. I'm going to reset the thing, see if that will help it too. Hello? There we go. There we go. All right, there we go. Let me see you here. We'll get you ready to go. And welcome back to the Spartans at the Spice. Every Monday afternoon we are here from 2 o'clock till 5 o'clock with the USC Upstate basketball program with the women kick off our afternoon every week here, and we've got a special guest. We've got the assistant head coach today, Jeannie DeGraff, here with us. So welcome to the Spartans at the Spice.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, well, tell me a little bit about your job, your responsibilities, so that we were talking off the air on the other day that we've got one thing in common, that we both have been assistant women basketball coaches at USC Upstate. I'm sure it's changed a lot since I was there, and I'll tell you a couple of funny stories that you might get a kick out of a little history of the program there, though. But just tell me a little bit what your responsibilities are with the team.
Yeah, so I'm one of the guard coaches with Coach Steve, so we handle the guards, we call them our snipers, so that's always fun to have a little unity within the group, but I'm primarily focused on me, so we just talked to Cassie, I had a chance to talk to her. She's able to work with Billy, so I'm in charge of them. As far as all the court stuff goes, that's my primary focus as far as position group goes, but off the court I do a lot of different stuff. Academic, I'm kind of academic liaison, so if they have questions with anything academics, they come to me. I do a lot of housing, so anything with on-campus housing, off-campus housing, I deal with that. I do a lot of that promotional games, so alumni games, senior night, that kind of stuff, so I deal with that. I also do ask Cassie about the uniform. She had a good answer talking about liking our uniforms now because I deal with all that, so all the apparel, everything like that, I make sure that they'll have the right stuff on the right time, represent Nike and do everything the right way, so those are just a few of my responsibilities, so yeah, I really enjoy it and really grateful to be here. Now in my 4th season with Coach Williams, I was with him for 1 year at Belmont Abbey College before I came over to USC Upstate, so got the chance to be with him at 2 different programs, which has been really awesome to go from, you know, a Division II where he built and was there for a really long time to now building really great things here at USC Upstate and doing a lot of really, really good and fun things with this team.
Wow. What do you do during your spare time? I'm sure you don't have any spare time though, but you know that is a stressful job. There's a lot of responsibilities, but when you get a chance to get away from the game of it, though, what do you like to do?
I heard you also talking that you love dogs. I'm a huge dog lover. My dream job someday, besides coaching college basketball, would be to have a animal sanctuary and be in tons of land and have tons of land and save dogs and have all of them. It breaks my heart to see all the stray dogs out there. So I have 2 of my own. We just celebrated one of our 3rd birthdays. Cassie's little twin, his name is Cash. She is called Cash. So really cool. I love my animals, so spending a lot of time with them. My parents have a lake house up in Michigan, so getting up there, being able to be on the water. So yeah, I like to get out. I love being outside, hiking, doing that kind of stuff. But yeah, this is kind of my job all year round, and people always ask me, what do you do on the off season? I still coach and I still recruit and do all those different things, so it's a year-round job for sure.
Where are you originally from?
Originally from between Dayton and Cincinnati, Ohio. I went to Springboro High School, graduated in 2013. So yeah, went there. Springboro was just in a state championship last year, so they're doing really well. I'm a proud alum of their program, and yeah, had a really fun journey in Ohio, but glad to be in the warmer weather in the South.
Well, Gracie was sharing last week about being from Cincinnati there,
Yep.
So come from kind of the same area
Yes.
around there, though.
Yep.
And what do you like most about being in the South, down in Spartanburg?
I love the warm weather. That's one thing. Like, everyone was so nervous about this big blizzard, and nothing is literally on the ground now. So that's interesting. But
There might be a little under that tree out there, and there's an old saying: if the snow's on the ground for 3 days or more, then it's waiting for more.
that's what I heard. There's supposed to be another storm coming in, so maybe we'll get another. Yeah, maybe we'll get another half an inch or something. But
So go buy your milk and bread. I don't use milk and bread either one. So I bought a bunch of junk stuff there though.
yeah,
But it's crazy how our people just do on that. Go wild on that. I mean, the grocery store was empty and stuff like that. And,
Yeah.
and all. Sometimes I think that the grocery stores are in cahoots with the meteorologists, and they got a little kickback or something going on with that, though.
Yeah, it is really interesting coming from a place. I was born in Wisconsin, didn't spend a lot of time there, but used to cold weather. So coming down here, I played my collegiate career. I graduated from North Carolina, Wilmington.
Okay.
So coming down here and hearing a snowstorm, I was like, let's go out. We can go out. I can drive. I'm used to this. But they're just not prepared down here. They don't have the things to prepare for the snow. So if there's any chance of snow, I understand why it can be closed down. I completely get it. So I will not touch my keys when there's a storm coming either. So I get it. I guess I'm a Southerner now.
I'm worried more of the idiots on the road that have no idea, because I've driven in snow a lot and all, but it scares me to death, all the idiots you're out there driving with that don't have a clue what's going on.
Yeah, that's true.
You mentioned Wisconsin, and I want to share a great story, a bucket list trip that I had. I got to cover one time, about 5 years ago, I got to cover the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field. The president of the Carolina Panthers is a good friend of mine, and he had been over the communications department and stuff, so he set it up and got me the credentials to go up there. Me and my best friend went up there to cover the Panthers and the Packers,
I love that.
I got snowed in Green Bay.
Oh, I believe that.
It was, the game started, it was cold up there starting out, and it was really cold, and there was a chance of snow, and we start the game, kickoff, in bright green grass out there, and by the end of the game, it is a blizzard. You can't even, the field's totally white. You can't see the other side of the field though. And I went down on the field to do my post-game report, and I mean, the snow is just pounding you in the face there where I couldn't even see the end zone on the other end. And so my crazy partner that went with me to help me do the game, I'm packing up the equipment on the field, and pretty much everybody's long gone. And so he's going back to the press box, and I meet him up there. He shut the door and locked me on Lambeau Field in a blizzard, and I couldn't get off the field. And you know, when they go do the Lambeau leap, that ain't as easy as it looks. I had to do the Lambeau crawl up the wall to get up there. And I get up there, and he's sitting up there drinking hot chocolate, and I've been fighting out there. So that was my claim to fame. I got locked on Lambeau Field in a blizzard after the Packers game there.
Yeah.
So
my brother is a huge Packers fan. He actually proposed to his now wife in front of Lambeau Field. So very, very proud fan of the Packers. Unfortunately, their season ended last night. So
well, I have interviewed Aaron Rodgers several times. I'll go back as far as that my first autograph as I ever got as a kid was Bart Starr.
Okay.
That Bart Starr. So I've been a Packer fan for that. I'm a stockholder with the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
And I own
So
stock.
is my brother. So
I've got my stock right there, though. So that's pretty neat, though.
Awesome.
All right, let's talk a little bit about your season here.
Yeah.
That you had a really, really good season, and I was telling Stephen last week, and when we get Jason here, I'll have to tell him this same thing too. I honestly thought that y'all should have been the conference coaches of the year. And having coached, I'm not one of those people. Whenever I voted for football, when I was coaching, when I would vote on the conference coach of the year, everybody always thinks, well, just the championship coach. Well, some of my best teams I coached were not my best coaching jobs, and some of that. But I really thought that y'all deserved to be the conference champions for last year, though. Great job. You lose several players, and you've got, it looks like a blend of youth coming in this year, though. So just talk a little bit about the season. I know you've had some rough games, and Stephen informed me last week that he was the one to blame on all the money games there. I said, so you're the one. But you got to play those games.
Yeah.
And I guess while we're on that question, you know, how hard is it you've got to get those games. And, you know, and the sad thing is there's a lot of good coaches in this conference. But when you look at their personal coaching record, it's below 500. Is that frustrating with that? But you've got to make so much money a year to support the program, though. But how do you keep that in perspective?
Yeah, it's a really fun, learning opportunity. I think as a player, for myself, some of my most fun games were some of those really big time games, playing some of those, the Dukes, the North Carolinas, some of those really top tier opponents. So having the chance to have our young team, our team go out and have the opportunity to go to Kansas and go to Iowa, places that they're probably never going to go vacation or do anything, no offense to those states, but they have a chance to go out there and see snow and be like, wow, this is just a different world than South Carolina. That's an opportunity that they'll never, have again. So to be able to provide that for them is one thing that's really awesome about it, regardless of the score. Those will be memories that they carry forever, regardless if they won or the loss. So I'm grateful that we get to do that for them, have the opportunity to do that with them. But also as far as competing with those teams, being able to do that when we get to an NCAA tournament, we're going to have to play teams of that caliber. So having the opportunity to go out and compete with them early in the season, getting hit, and then how do you get back up? So it's an opportunity to put adversity right in front of them. No matter who the team is in front of them, let's go out here and compete to the best of our ability. Let's learn to play with each other. Let's learn to vibe with each other. It's early in the season. You're preparing for conference play. That's what non-conference is all about. So just putting it in perspective for them that no matter who's on that other side of the floor, we're going to give our best. We're going to have our standard. We're going to have our culture day in and day out is what we preach to them, and making memories and having those memories forever, no matter the outcome.
You've gotten in conference play now, and there's a different perspective you have to, I guess, go along, kind of what you're saying for the non-conference with the conference regular season right there. You've played 3 games, and you've been in those 3 games with a chance to win all those games.
Yeah.
The bottom line is, and what sometimes people can lose perspective, sure, everybody wants to win the conference regular season championship, but really all the conference does is set your pairings up for money time when you get in that conference tournament, because that's what punches your ticket to go on there. So is that pretty much with the maybe, I wouldn't say slow start, because you've been in every game there though, but just kind of keep them in perspective that we got to hang in there. We're jockeying for position to get as good a seed as we can in the tournament, because that's really what's going to matter.
Yeah, I think letting them know that, like, the season is not over 3 games into the conference. We are in the middle, haven't even hit the middle of January yet, and the best teams need to be hitting their stride in end of January, February, beginning of March. So, like, we're not at the time of the season where everything needs to be perfect. So to see us competing with a competitive conference, night in and night out, it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a fun competition. That's why we do our scouts. That's why we practice. That's why we do all those things, because every single game is going to be competitive. It's going to be a 3-4 possession game or less type of situation. So letting them know that, like, hey, we've lost 3, but guess what? We have another opportunity to go out there and prove ourselves again on Wednesday. And then it's all about stacking days, just putting those days together, coming in every single day, putting in the work every single day, and then going out there and performing and playing and executing what we want to execute each and every game. And we will eventually get the result that we want, and just keeping our kids confident every single day, every single day, every single night.
Okay, and again, basically what my definition of a leader is somebody keeps hope alive. And that's the thing right there, that I've always tried to be that way coaching or whatever. If I've got one breath left in me, then, I'm going to keep fighting. And it's like you still got games on the schedule, time on the clock. And, I've seen over my 66 years on this world, I've seen a lot of strange things have happened there where you keep battling.
Yep.
All right, let's talk quickly about this week's schedule. You got Asheville, I believe, coming up on Wednesday night. They'll be coming to the Hodge Center.
Yep.
And who do you have Saturday?
Gardner-Webb, at Gardner-Webb.
Okay.
Yep.
So those are 2 teams I think right now y'all probably match up real well with.
Yeah, we will go ahead and come out on Wednesday night, and they're hungry for a win as well. They're a team that's going to play extremely hard. They're going to rebound the ball, and they're gonna push us to make us better. So we're gonna come out there. We're gonna as soon as Cassie and I leave here, we're gonna go and start preparing for UNC Asheville, and that's a rivalry for us. So we're gonna go out there and we're gonna get it done. So that's the plan.
All right, I'm still a student of the game. That I enjoy watching games and learning, and probably the thing. What do you enjoy most about coaching? What do you enjoy most about coaching?
I love the relationships with our girls. I love the ability to impact their lives in a positive way, and letting them know that these are supposed to be the best 4 or 5, even 6, with the COVID years. Now these girls are in school forever.
The junior college years you get now too. So.
Yeah, exactly. It's always changing, but my why and my purpose is always the same, and that's to make a positive impact on these young ladies. I'm obviously a competitor in all that I do. I want to win games. I want to win championships. Well, when it comes down to it, if I can leave a positive impact on them, that's really what matters. So that's why I do it, and that's what I get the most joy out of.
Well, that's the thing there too, that I left the high school job I left as all-time winningest coach, and I've got my ring for that, and champions like that though. But the thing I'm probably most proud of is that I had 17 of my players get college scholarships, and them have one of my players that I had was the first member of his family to ever get to go to college.
That's awesome.
And those are the things that matter to me.
That's awesome.
Now, getting back to what I was saying, I was watching a lot. I watched about 6 games last week, and I sat there and let it soak in last night, and I was thinking about, from what I saw with these games, I made out my practice schedule for Monday's practice schedule. I'm going to let you see what you think about it.
Okay.
All right, what we're going to work on in practice this week, or working on practice today, is we're going to work on putting ball pressure.
Okay.
That I saw too many games last week where the ball was not being pressured. I saw people playing defense with their hands down and basically just chasing people around the court. I saw in one particular game where somebody took an inbounds pass. The guard, they weren't impressing, drove it the length of the court, all the way down the court, and finally, 2 feet away from the basket, somebody decided they were going to step in front of him, and he dished it off for a layup there. And I'm like, ready to beat my head on the wall there. So, ball pressure and stop penetration is one of my big things I'm going to be doing in practice, and we got drills on that. I think another big thing I'm going to work on is help side defense. That did not see a whole lot of games I watched with help side defense, and I think that players were not doing a good job of help and recover. I mean, they would stay. What good does it do you to stay with your man while somebody else is going to drive in there and lay it up there? And I mean, chances are, if you jump at them or bluff at them, then maybe, they may try to pass it or turn over. But if you just stand there and I'm looking at you right here and the person's driving right past you in the paint for a layup, what good's that do? So I'm going to emphasize help side defense, help and recover. All right? I've saw a lot of easy missed shots around the basket. And one thing that I used to do with both my men's and women's teams that I coached, we used the 2-ball-on-block drill. Now, I don't know if y'all still use that or not, but you've got a coach or manager or somebody there, but you put 2 balls on the blocks, and the person's got to bend down, pick up the ball off the block, and power up. And I stand there with a hand shield, and they get hit when they go up. And so they have to keep going until they make 15 shots and get used to finishing the play. That I've seen so many plays where inside shots are missed because they didn't finish. So we'll do some 2-ball-on-block drill.
Okay.
With the football blocking shield, the hand shield, where you give them a little shot there to make them power it in. All right. We're going pressure free throws. Free throws that I saw a men's college game, University of South Carolina, that they've got today they're number 1 Auburn, number 2 Auburn on the ropes, got a 2-shot foul with 9 seconds to go, chance to win the game, and he misses both of them. I think, I don't know. I won't tell you what I think, but I'd have been so tempted to have sent the player out after the game and made him shoot 100 free throws before they could go home. After that, though, but I thought free throws were always my pet peeves are missed free throws, because that is the only shot in basketball you don't have somebody trying to cram it down your throat. That you ought to be able to make your free throws, and I think in NBA, in college men's, women are usually better free throw shooters than men in the stats there, but I think that you should never have somebody miss 2 shots in a row. So we're going to work on pressure free throws. That we're going to stop practice in the middle of practice. I'm going to call a random player up, and they got to shoot a 1-and-1. They miss the front end of the 1-and-run, they got to run a double sprint. If they make the front end of the 1-and-1 and miss the second one, they run a single right there. But we're going to put different people random, because you don't know, any player at any time may have to go in. So I'm going to pick somebody like that. All right, then we're going to a block out drill that we're going to go to and work on blocking out. It's a 5-on-5. It's a random movement type drill to where the offense is covering the defense and they're roaming around. I've got the ball, and I'm going to shoot it and miss it on purpose. And if the offense gets the rebound, they get a point. If the defense gets the rebound, they get a point. First team to 5 wins, and the losers do 10 push-ups. So we're gonna work on those things, and then at the end of my practice, this is from what I saw in games last week, we would be working on today. But the end of my practice was with free throws that everybody's on the baseline doing it. Everybody's got to shoot a 1-and-1. If you miss the front end, the whole team runs a double. If you make the first one, miss the second one, they run a single. If you make both of them, we move on to the next person. We're going to give everybody, and then I have been known to do that. Any of my players watching are saying, Lord, I can tell you that. We've done that before. Sometimes what I will let them do at the end of practice is that if I'll say, pick anybody on the team that you want to shoot the free throws for you. And if they make them, we don't condition today. and I'll let the team pick who's going to represent them on the line, and it's kind of interesting. So, and then my point of emphasis were no lazy cross-court passes. That I see so many passes that, as I put it, that are lazy cross-court passes that Stevie Wonder could intercept and go down and dunk on the other end. So we're going to be aware of that. Point of emphasis is keep your numbers in front of the ball, where they ought to be able to see your numbers. Help side defense, and thing I used to do was, if you're in correct position to play help side defense, you can point the ball and man. If you can't see both of them peripheral vision, then you're not in good help side position there. So, and plus the other thing, it makes you put your hands up. If you're pointing man and ball, then you got your hands up. Why? Because I see so many players today that got their hands down here, and the ball comes up. They don't have time to get their hands up and deflect it. So these are just some little things I saw, and I'm going to remind them that the ball is your money. Take care of that basketball like it's your money. Are you going to go out there and throw your money away or sling your money away? I'm not. And all. So those were my things, my practice for today. How do you think it's going to go?
I hope it goes well for you.
It's not going to be easy, is it? But those were just some things that I just saw what I would be saying to my team. Now, not all the teams did the same thing. That was a combination right there.
Right.
But that's what we would be facing today, though. All right, I want to ask you a couple of quick, fun questions right here. We're going to get into some here. Who was the best player you've ever coached against?
Wow. That's hard. That's really hard. I'll just go recent because we just played them last year. I would say Lauren Bevis from High Point was a really hard matchup. She just did a lot of different things, never went away, competed at an extremely high level, and put your defense in rotations. You were always looking for where she was. No matter if she started the game 0 for 10, she would somehow finish with 20 points type of situation. So she was a really hard person to guard and hard person to coach against. But yeah, I would say her for sure right now.
Okay, I think the best player I've ever coached against was Kevin Garnett. He was by far the best. He was a player. And I coached against Mark Gasson that played with the Grizzlies and with the Lakers too, and I coached against Ray Allen. But I would put up there at the head of the list would have to be Kevin Garnett. All right, would you rather play against the zone or would you rather play against man-to-man?
Depends on my roster. Definitely depends on my roster, but I think that a zone is easier to rebound out of because on the defensive end it's hard to box out of. So being able to rebound it really well, that's one thing that I know that I really enjoy is the rebounding portion of the game. So being able to get that after the first shot, being able to get second, third, and fourth shot opportunities is a lot easier most of the time out of a zone than it is out of a man. I think that if you have some really, really good perimeter shooters, it's going to be tough for a team to stay in a zone, obviously. So, and we have a couple of those that can really light it up. So, I think that I would prefer to play against a zone as long as we're prepared for it and it's not just off whim type of situation. We have more opportunities out of that, but I think if we can push it in transition and score in the first 6 to 8 seconds of the shot clock, I'd rather play against transition defense than either of those.
Okay. All right. How often do y'all practice end of the game or last second situations and all? As far as, with say you've got 2.5 seconds and stuff like that, end of the game situations, how often what do you think is the right amount of time to spend on those?
Yeah, I mean, I think that those are extremely, extremely important to be worked on so our girls know where they're supposed to be at what time. I know that we talk about that the day of the game during shoot-around all the time. We'll go over what option we're looking for in that situation. So I do think that's extremely important to do as much as possible daily, if possible.
Okay. All right. When do you call timeout at the end? Is there? I used to kind of have a rule of thumb that if we get the ball back and there's a certain amount of time, say like 10 or less seconds, if there was more than 10 seconds to go, lots of times I'd let them play through it. But if you got less than 10, do you have kind of a set time on when you would use a timeout or let them play it out?
Not necessarily. I think the women's game is so much different when it comes to that versus the men's side of it, just because of the advance rule, being able to advance the ball. So I think that it definitely depends on time and situation when it comes to that. But if you're ahead, obviously we're going to try to allow them to foul us. If we're in a trap situation, they have us trapped, then we'll call the timeout to make sure we're not turning it over. But if we're behind, obviously, and we need to advance the ball, then we're going to call the timeout to get the ball advanced and get into that situation that we just talked about, being able to execute those after a timeout in a late game situation.
I would like to see all of basketball go to 4 quarters, and what you just mentioned, I think that the women have hit it right on that.
Yep.
And I like what the women do too, that you 5 fouls every quarter, and on the 5th foul you get 2 shots. I like that. That's something I wish the men would go to too. If you're up 3 at the end of a game, you foul or you let them take it.
You want my personal philosophy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want your philosophy.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, depending on the situation when it comes to how much we've practiced it, etc. But I'm fouling. I'm not giving them the opportunity. I always use the example of NC State and Virginia last year in the ACC tournament, where Virginia allowed NC State to hit that 3 to go into overtime, I believe it was, and then they make that great run to, in the NCAA tournament. So you foul.
Okay.
You make them go to the free throw line. They don't have a chance to do that. But that's just my philosophy. I don't think
like
either
that.
way is right or wrong.
I like that. Let's see what else I had on here too. Do you have any superstitions?
I used to a lot as a player. I don't as much anymore as a coach, but I still do. Once we get into a routine and stack these days and get some wins under our belt, I'll find out what works for me, and I will stick with that. So yes, I am.
I used to have my floppy Pete Mervet socks.
There you go. Yep. I have my milk and cookie socks. So.
I had those. That's always fun too. Do you think, and this is something I do not like, but I want your opinion on this. Do you think coaches should have to do interviews during a game? You know, where they pull the coach aside at the end of a quarter or something. I think coaches need to be with their teams. I don't think that. What's your thoughts? Should coaches have to do interviews during games?
I think if it's going to get more, especially on the women's side, if it's going to get more attention, more eyes on the game, do it. If it's not, which I don't think it is, in my personal opinion, I don't really need to hear from, the Lynx coach in the middle of their WNBA championship run. I don't need to see that as a observer, as a fan. I don't need to see that. So I don't think it's necessary. It kind of, takes away from it. It doesn't run as smoothly, especially the in-game interviews where they literally had them talking while they were coaching in the WNBA finals. I know they had that. I think throughout the season they had that, and I just didn't enjoy it as much. It just didn't feel authentic. It just felt like something they had to do, which they did. So I think, just let them be with their team, do the before the half and after the half type of interviews.
I found this to solidify being alumnus from USC Upstate. I found my ID card.
Oh, wow.
That's over 40 years ago.
Wow. I don't even think I have mine from college. So.
I found that when I was going through a wallet there and found out, but that was my senior year there, and
That's
I would
really
have
cool.
been coaching right after that.
That's
there.
cool. That's
so
awesome.
That
That's
was
cool. Keep that.
back in the days of hair. That was kind of interesting. All right, I got 2 more questions to ask you, and I'll let you get out of here. Right here. Would you rather be the mascot or the manager for a game?
The manager. I'd rather be the manager. I have so much respect for managers and
I
all
do
they
too.
do. I mean, it's incredible. We have a couple really, really good ones. They just lift the spirits of the team so much. And you're able to just do such a thankless job all the time. The mascot's really a fun thing to do too, but as a competitor, like I want to be around the team. I want to be in the huddles. I want to be handing out waters. I want to do whatever it takes to help the team. The mascot's more of a cheerleader, and that's never been my gig, but we still appreciate them for all they do, and I want Sparty at every single game.
Well, I'm with you. To me, the manager job would be too hard with that, because I had some managers. I had twin sisters that were my managers, and they were the absolutely best there. They took care of everything on game day. Everything's ready, the gym set up, everything there. But they were when they graduated, I missed them. Missed more than some of the players that I had there. But they were like little coaches, and they knew the things to do, and they had all the details taken care of. And thank goodness I had them for 3 years, and they were great.
That's awesome.
So, and last question for you today. I'm a lie. I got that one more. What are your aspirations about being a coach someday, head coach someday?
Yeah, I think that it goes back and forth all the time. As far as what I want to do, I think that having those relationships with the players and being able to, again, positively impact them and hopefully win some games along the way is my main goal. I think right now I'm trying to be the best assistant I can be to Coach Williams and to the rest of our staff, and I'm trying to be the best assistant I can be to our players, and that's my main focus. And wherever my 5-year plan takes me, my uncle and my dad, who are also twins, they tell me every day I need to get a head coaching job so they can come coach with me on the sideline.
There you go.
So that's always a joke in our family, but it's in our family. Basketball's in our family. We enjoy it no matter what. So I'm just blessed to be able to have this opportunity to be with a program and kind of fulfill my dream. So right now I'm just present in the moment and being the best I can be for what our team needs every day.
If you don't want them to be your assistant coaches, let one of them be the manager and one of them be the mascot. You got two jobs right there.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's true. Y'all heard that. Heard that.
Last question for today is, if somebody that walked in, maybe we've got a lot of people that come in here as we're doing this and wonder what we're doing and all like that. What would be, if somebody didn't know Jenny DeGraff, what would be the most important thing you would want them to know about you?
I'm going to do whatever it takes to help you when you're down, when you're out. I hope that I can be the person that you'll call to come save you, be the person to give you my shirt off my back when it comes down to it. I'm going to do everything I can to provide whatever you need at any moment in time, whether that be, again, the shirt off my back or whether that be a word of encouragement. I want to be that person because, again, those genuine relationships mean a lot to me, and that's what got me as far as I've gotten, and hopefully will continue helping our team get to where we need to get to, but also help me in the long run as a coach in anything I may do.
Great answer. Well, we appreciate you being with us today. We appreciate Cassie being with us today here too. And again, want to encourage you, the Spartans are home Wednesday night, 6:30 or 7?
I honestly think it's a 6 o'clock game.
6 o'clock
game. So, yeah, tipping off early.
Big game. I'm sure they would love to come and have your support there for the game. I might have to borrow Sparty's suit.
Yeah, come on. No. We want you as a manager. We need you as a manager.
Okay. All right, though. But a great opportunity to see some good basketball, great women's basketball in the area, and I'm sure these girls would really appreciate you coming out there, though. But thank y'all for being here with us today. We got to get you something good to eat to take with you here, and wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And we'll be back a little bit later on this afternoon, and we will get the men's version of the Spartans at the Spice on Monday. Until then, we'll see you later.